I wake up every day, I create content. And the only reason why I create content is I have two things. I have clarity and I have confidence in the product that I sell. Remember, I shared this with you guys. It absolutely is a must that you have to have confidence in what you're selling. And when I say confident, what we mean by that is that you like the product, you love the product, you're an expert at the product. And third is this is a product that you not only that would deliver the results. So you like it, which is you're an expert at, you know it, you like it. Second, you believe in it. Second is you love it. And then third is it's a product that actually helps people get the payoff. Now, remember at dinner, Donna, remember me and Myron?
To me, there's a fourth thing.
Okay.
And that is that it has to provide the type of revenue that
100%. Yeah, of course, the profit has to be there. And that's why at dinner, we talked about this. We asked Donna, what comes after this? What comes after the 1750? The 1750 is not where you guys will profit. That's not the profit, especially in this world. It'll probably cost you just as much to acquire a client, quite honestly. It might even cost you more than 1750. Bonfinetti right now, he's running ads to his offer. It's a $5,000 offer, but he's spending $2,500 to get that client. So his offer on the front end is actually profitable because he sells for $5,000 and the cost to acquire a client is $2,500. So that works for me. So his business model works. He doesn't sell anything higher than that. He doesn't have a high ticket offer. He doesn't have a premium value offer. He just has a $5,000 offer that he runs ads to. He spends $150,000 a day on ads. He runs it to a free challenge, but the challenge is not a live challenge anymore. The challenge is an automated challenge. So every single week, so his cash conversion cycle is he spends what? $700,000, $800,000 a week on ads, but he sells about $1.6 million a week on sales because he's spending half of that on ads. But that's his cash conversion cycle is weekly. They go through Monday through Friday, and then they make an offer and they buy a $5,000 offer. So my question is, so this is what Myron asked before as well at the dinner table, is there an offer that you're selling either before that includes a live wave, or is there a back-end offer that's higher ticket that you can sell after they have joined LifeWave? And this is the disillusion part. And you're 100% like, how do we make this company a profitable business? You have to sell premium value offers. You have to sell high ticket offers. 5,000, 10,000, 5,000 like the minimum for sure. So if that's where you're stuck at, then before, you're right. If you don't not only have the confidence or you don't have the excitement, enthusiasm to create content to get people to the thing, then we already have a problem. So we either change the thing that you're selling, change the price so that you can be excited to do the thing on the front end to get people to come. Because right now you're not. And completely, I agree with you. If you don't have the confidence or the excitement that the back end sales is not going to be profitable or productive, then what are you creating content for? You know what I mean? Okay. But that doesn't mean that selling a $1,700 product, the only problem with your guys' case is your margins are so low for that 1750 because it's not like an info product. An info product's a little different. You sell the 1750, that's the whole 1750 is yours. I don't know what you guys make when somebody buys a 1750 product. Is it 10%, 5%? That's low. That's super low. So that means that you have to have a premium value offer on the back end. Otherwise, this business is not going to work.
Yeah,
So
off of the 1750, the first bonus you make is 405, but where you're going to get that business volume.
Yeah,
so if you're doing six, that's $10,000 in volume. You're going to get paid off of that in multiple different ways. So the money, it's not so much the 1750, it's acquiring the client and then getting them on auto ship. So you can keep that business volume. So it's not just the 1750. That's low.
It's too low to the point where your business cannot sustain the cost of doing business. So you have to come up with an offer that is 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 that you sell on top of this. And now the question goes to, do the same people that will buy the 1750, will they want to buy your premium value offer? Well, I believe they will. If they're suffering, and if you guys are an expert in your space to help them end suffering, and you can add other health stuff to it, then you should make a premium value offer. That's one question. Will they buy it? And then the second question is, can they afford it? Let's talk about this. Or maybe you guys scrap this all together and then really build a business with a better offer. Because at the end of the day, it does start with the offer. If your offer isn't going to work, your business is not going to work, guys.
So is that something we can do in a joint venture? Build a premium offer?
100%. You could join a venture with somebody, or you can just have a premium value offer. You don't have to join a venture with anybody if you guys have a premium value offer. Again, premium value offer has to be able to, you have to create it so that it actually is created for a premium value buyer. That's one. So why does a premium value buyer buy? They only buy for 3 reasons. What are they? What's the 3 reasons why a premium value buyer buys?
One is
They
the
want the
benefit is
result. They
greater.
love the result.
Yeah, one is right. It saves them time.
Time,
First one, it saves them time.
money, saves them money.
Yeah, either saves them money. Yeah, time, money. Either makes them more money or saves them money for sure. So they're always thinking time and money. Those are the first 2 for sure. The
They want the
third is,
result.
the third is there's a result. There's an absolute result that they want, a payoff, a result, a transformation. Absolutely, that's why they buy it. But really the fourth and fifth, if you really think about the main 5 reasons why premium value buyers buy, the fourth reason is it's convenient, or it stops something. Like it stops a hassle. It stops them, their biggest pain point, frustration, overwhelm, whatever that is, whatever's hassling them, it stops that, right? And it's very convenient. Essentially, if you want to really get the right language for this, it speeds up the result that they want. Not just the result, but the speed. Make sense? Not just the result, but the speed. For example, when I went to, in 2018 or 2020, when I went to Funnel Hack Live, I wanted to make a lot of money online. That's the result. I wanted to make a lot of money online. The reason why I said yes to Russell Brunson's 25K offer was because I knew that not only will he be able to teach me how to sell and make money online, but if I said yes to this, it would speed it up. It would reduce my overwhelm. It would be convenient for me instead of me trying to figure out on my own. So they pay for speed. Let's just put it that way. We can write that down. That's the fourth reason. The fifth reason that really they buy is because of significance. That's the premium value buyer. So do you have to JV with somebody to create that offer? No. You and Ed could sit down and say, do we have a $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 offer that we can create with just us, with just what you two know, and with just what you two love? Do you? Now I'm asking you guys, without having a JV with somebody, do you, Ed, believe that you have so much to offer to the world that at least that offer could be, that you can actually sell an offer for at least $10,000 right now?
Yeah. I
there you go.
can't think of anything related to
Health,
LifeWave.
health. Okay. Or health. Okay. So that's the first problem. No, now we're getting to the cause, the why, like why it's not working, why we're not creating content, why are we not buying the right lead to get them to the right thing? Because when you don't have clarity, it doesn't matter what you say, it's how you feel. You're always going to be sabotaging yourself to some level of degree. Does that make sense? You have to have absolute confidence in your offer. If I look at Tony, for example, since I'm at a Tony event, he sells a ticket to Business Mastery for $10,000. At this stage, he can sell it for $10,000. And Business Mastery is a 5-day event. So that's just an event, just like Myron. Myron sold whatever that is, $27,000 offer. And that's for a 2-day event at his office for multi-millions. But Myron, he has absolute confidence that when people show up for those 2 days at his office, that he believes that what they're going to learn is worth $27,000. Make sense? So if that's the case, that's the pattern that we see that has to happen. It does start with your offer. It does start with you guys being confident with your offer. Because if you are, then without a doubt, you will create content, you will buy the right leads, you will do the right thing to get people to the right place so that you can do everything that you can to make them that offer. And you will not sabotage yourself. Because right now you have an offer problem. Do you guys agree? You agree, Ed? You have an offer problem. Yeah. So if you look at all the problems that you have, there's only, if you really look at business, and this is great for, as a takeaway for you and Donna to really talk to each other about today. Every business, Ed, has only 5 problems. So please write this down. Only 5 problems. You have the marketing problem where you're not getting enough traffic. People aren't seeing you or you're not creating content, you have a marketing problem. Second, you have a message problem, meaning your message is not clear. You're not clear. People don't understand what you're doing, what problem you solve, who it's for. You're not clear. Third, you have a niche problem, meaning you don't know who you're actually selling to. Who's your ideal client? Fourth, you have a sales problem, meaning that you're not making enough offers. Your funnel strategy is messed up. It's not clear. It's not good. And then the fifth is you have an offer problem. And right now, I think what will make best use of you guys' time and effort, and so that you guys can stop spending a lot of money and actually get real results. I know you and Donna really need to sit down and say, okay, what's our $10,000 offer? And if it's not in the health space, maybe you need to get away from it and say, okay, maybe it's in a different space. Maybe it's in a coaching space where you guys sell information that you guys know. You guys have a lot to offer. There's a lot of experience, there's a lot of wisdom that you guys have gone through so much in life. Let's not dim that light anymore. Let's really tell the world what you guys can do for them. You know what I mean? It could be sales, it could be business related, it could be copy, or it could be messaging. I don't know. You're the one that know. And that should be your business, because that's going to be a business that you love. Right now, LifeWave, even though it's a great product, it's really not a business, at least at the offer and the sales process side. It doesn't seem like you're in love with that, or it doesn't make sense. When we say you have an offer problem, it could also mean that the offer pricing doesn't make sense as well. It might be a great product, but the offer doesn't have enough margin for you guys to succeed in the marketplace. And I'm here for you guys. Whatever you need, whatever clarity, whatever strategy, I know it all works. I know it works, but we need to really, the ball's kind of in your guys' court now. And I've been there. When I won my first 2 Comma award in 2021, when I walked the stage and I left the stage, I felt I literally, legitimately, financially, it made sense. The business itself made sense. A funnel building business made sense because it made me money. The margins were over 35% margins, but I just did not like the business. I did not like the project management side. I did not like chasing clients for their stuff, their videos, their images. My team was managing multiple projects, and I didn't like that because I'm a completion guy. I love completion, and the clients were holding me up, and I was the one stressed more about their business than them. So I was not in love with the business. I was doing something I was an expert in, but I wasn't doing something that I loved. So when I would go on the sales calls, I started seeing my sales drop because my energy to the sales call dropped because I was not in love with that business anymore. Does that make sense? So forget about just creating content, forget about just selling itself. Like, I saw sales were dropping. I saw that I was not creating enough content, so people aren't seeing me. And rightfully, I was not in love with the thing that I was selling. Why would I create content? Why would I sell? I was sabotaging myself. You know what I mean? So you got to be in love with what you're selling. And Donna, chime in. Ed is spot on. He is right, by the way. I'm so happy that he brought this up, that he says, this is not going to work. I don't think it's going to, the numbers don't make sense. And I'm 100%, even though the product is great right now, I agree with them. The numbers are going to be hard. It doesn't make sense. It makes sense on the long run because there's a residual piece, but then you also have to constantly do it. Am I correct? You have to constantly build and build. You're almost constantly chasing as well. Unless you both on a $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 offer that goes on top of it, or that is what you sell and you include LifeWave into it. You sell a $10,000 offer and includes that 1750 brand partner in it, then now it makes sense because the margins are there. Am I right, Ed?
So one thought I had was, instead of offering individuals the 1750 package, I thought it makes sense to find communities of people.
Well, 100%.
And then
So if
everybody buys in that's in that
Correct.
community.
Yeah. If you're only going to sell the 1750 by itself as a standalone, 100%. So the only sale that you should do if you're going to sell the 1750 product, then the action is already wrong. What you told your team to do is go out and buy leads. The action's already wrong because it doesn't make sense. You're buying leads. You're trying to sell individuals a 1750 package. No. Then what the actions you should be doing is, okay, the outcome is we want to close one person that's in the health and wellness space that has a community. We want to close that one person because that one person can benefit by bringing this product into their community, and this one person can benefit financially because we can make them part of one of our legs, and then they can do the same thing with their community and they can make money with it as well. That makes sense because now you're closing one person to get volume sales, 100%. So you don't have your team go out and buy leads. You have your team go out and buy and find that person who's got a community. Does that make sense? So either you do that, you're spot on, or you change your offer, or you and Donna sit down and say, you know what, I think we can come up with a $10,000 offer. Let's do that. It's a $10,000 offer. It comes with information. It comes with coaching. It comes with all of these things. It comes with whatever nutrition or supplements as well, and what will include the $1,750 life wave to that offer. Now it makes sense. So this is a decision that you two have to make. Do you sell the $1,750 and go find the one person who has a community? Or do you want to recreate your offer that's at least $10,000? Or at the very least, at least $5,000? Because it will cost you a couple thousand to, remember, we have 3 types of costs. Cost per action. Like in my case, when I have my team run the awareness ad, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for an action for them to take. And I want to make sure that my CPA is within a certain number. And then I have cost per leads. So when they take that action, they're going to opt in. They're going to go to my landing page and I want $1.50 per lead. I want them to opt into whatever I spend. I'm spending $1.50 per lead. And then the third is cost per acquisition. So there's going to be a cost there that is associated with them taking action, buying from you. Like in Bill Bonfinetti's cases, he's not looking at his CPA. He's not looking at his CPL, cost per action, cost per lead. He's not looking at any of that. He's just looking at cost per acquisition because he says, I'm going to spend $1 and I need at least 50% back. I need a 2x return on my ad spend. So he found a method. He started running challenges every week, live challenges. So it would take him a week to run ads, and he was doing $150,000 per ad. And they were registered for the same challenge that he would start on Monday. So he spent the whole week's worth of ads. They come to the challenge on Monday. He runs the challenge Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. He makes an offer. So he sells on the third day. That's why he then replenishes his cash. And he looked at his numbers. He said, wow, it's costing me $2,500 to acquire clients. So his offer back then was $2,900. So he's, I'm only making $400 per client. Ooh, that's really low margins. So what did he do? He didn't change his sales process. He changed his price. So he increased his price to $4,000 first. He did the same thing. So same number, same cost per acquisition, same percentage of closing. So he said, okay, now every client I'm making $1,400 per client. So then he increased his price to $5,000 and he ran the same thing, same cost me $2,500 to acquire a client. Now I'm making $2,500. So he said, okay, this is good. Every client, I spend $2,500, I make $2,500. Okay. He increased his price to $6,000. His conversion dropped the following week. His conversion dropped. Okay. So my marketplace, the highest they'll pay for something like this is $5,000. So my conversion dropped when I increased to $6,000. So he brought his price back to $5,000. And that is what he's been running for the last 2 years. Spends money for a week. They come to a challenge. He makes an offer. Now his challenge is automated. It's not even live anymore. They could register. They can watch it immediately. They register. They watch it immediately. And he makes an offer on day 3. So his cash conversion went from 10 days to 3 days. So it's because as soon as they see his ad, they can opt in. They can watch it because it's evergreen now. So 3 days later, he's making money. So before, it used to take him 10 days to replenish his cash because he'd run ads for a whole 7 days, and they would come to the challenge. It's a 5-day challenge. And on day 3, you would make an offer. So that's why it was a 10-day cash conversion cycle. Now it's a 3-day cash conversion cycle because when they opt in, they can watch it immediately. And 3 days later, he makes an offer and they're buying. So where you guys have to start now, before traffic, before your sales strategy, you have to really be confident and certain of your offer. And let's go there first. And at the worst case, it has to be, if you're going to do a product without LifeWave, it has to be at least a minimum of $5,000 offer. The first thing that they buy from you, or the second thing, first or second thing, it doesn't matter. In Bill's case, it's the first thing they buy. You could sell a low ticket and then sell a $5,000. It would be the second thing that they buy. But if you're going to add LifeWave, I believe that it has to be at least $7,500 to $10,000 for you to be able to profit. Okay. Do you guys have at least in your gut an idea? Would you include LifeWave with an offer? Or would you try to sell something else and then later on sell them LifeWave? Remember what Myron told you at the dinner table that day? And I agree with him. He says, "What?" Because you told him that, yeah, I do this LifeWave thing because he's done it. He's done network marketing. Why don't you sell something else? Why don't you create a $5,000 offer, sell that, and then after that, sell them LifeWave? Remember he told you this at dinner?
Yeah, he said like some type of a coaching program or
Yeah,
something.
100%. Because that's what he did. He got them into his network marketing by selling them a sales program. He told them a sales offer first, and they bought that. And then says, "Oh, by the way, now that I taught you to sell, what you need something to sell. So I have this product. I think it was insurance at that time. I have this product. So why don't you sell that?" And they're like, "Sure." And that's how he built his network marketing.
So what do you think about it?
Yeah, I've been kicking around the idea of incorporating some kind of coaching.
Okay.
And
Tell me about that. What have you been thinking, Ed? Something to sell on the front end or on the back end? When you're talking about the actual front end. Okay.
front end,
Okay.
because I definitely feel like I can put together a premier package that's at least 10,000. I'm taking this hypnotherapy program,
Yeah.
and a person that takes that program can make 100,000
Mhm.
without too much effort.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier to sell than the 1750 package. Isn't that easy to sell? You got to, that's not our experience. I should preface that with our experience has been that it's been difficult. We haven't figured out the solution, and we run, I think, okay, I'm just going to say it once again. I don't speak for Donna. The people that are the leaders in our program.
Yeah.
They talk to a lot of people over the course of a week.
Their top of funnel is massive. So if you look at that, you're like, okay, do I really want to do a business that I have to do that much volume at the top of funnel? Everything like connecting dots. It's, oh man, not only do I have not only do I have an offer problem, I have a marketing problem and I have a sales strategy problem. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But like, is there an easier way to do business? Is there an easier way to make impact in people's lives? And is there an easier way to make income? I think the old days of working hard and killing yourself to try to build your business and generate income, like that's sailed. That ship has sailed. Let's find the easiest way to do this. Let's do it with ease and grace. So whatever you're trying to create, here's what I really want you guys to spend maybe today on. And I would love to book just a separate call with you two about this, but don't start here. I want you to drop into your heart today. And I want you to talk to God. I want you to ask God, what is your calling? What is it what has he really meant for you guys to do? Because you're not here by accident. What you're trying to do now is not by accident. You're here to figure out, honestly, what God has actually called you to do. That's why you're here. We have to find out what that is. Because once you can find out what that is, you see, I'll give you 3 things that my whole life experience leading up to why I do this. This is my why. And this is what you guys have to find out. What is your why? There's 3 things that I do. If you really look at what I do, 1, I help people identify that they are the most valuable asset that they own. That's the first thing. And so now I'm going to put it back on you guys. If you are identifying yourselves as the most valuable asset, what is that asset? What is it that 3 things. What is it that you love? What is it that you have learned? And what is it that you have lived? What you love is all your experiences that you guys have gone through, created things that you hate and things that you love. You should by now know what you love. Second, what have you learned? That is your expertise. What can you extract from this mind? And then third, when I say what you have lived, is essentially your essence, your soul. This is who you are. Myron shows up on his video. The reason why he gets so many views, so many people subscribe, and my content started to get viral. Why? Because this is who I am. I'm not faking it. I turn on the camera and I share from my essence. I share where I'm at. I share what I'm doing. I share the content, all that stuff, because this is what I have experienced. This is what I love. This is what I learned. This is what I've lived. So my first thing I believe God called me to do is help people identify that they are their greatest asset. That's number one. Second thing he has called me to do is to help people extract their greatest asset and create offers, which is essentially what we're talking about. Is it a $10,000 offer? Is it a $50,000 offer? Is it a $20,000 offer? Help them actually create the offer that they are in love with, that they're confident in, that they have absolute certainty in. And then third, what God called me to do is help people take it out to the marketplace. Help people, how do you market it? How do you sell it? How do you deliver? How do you generate leads? So this is where the space I need you guys to really think about. What are the 1 to 3 things that God has called you to do? Because for me, that's what God called me to do. So when I created my coaching offer, I am absolute confident and certainty that not only will it work, I'm doing in alignment with what God's assignment for me. That is my orders from headquarters. These 3 things that I just shared with you. Help people identify they are their greatest asset, which you, Donna, are your greatest asset without a doubt. You guys have a lot of experiences. You guys have a lot of things that you love, that you learn, and you have lived. Second is, for me, it's helping you guys create offers. I don't know what your number 1, number 2 thing is. And for me, third is help you take this out to the marketplace. That's my thing, though. I don't know if that's your thing. And that's where you guys really need to come together, because you guys are stronger together for sure. And you guys have a lot to offer to the world. And LifeLive is just one of those products. It is not the product that's going to make you, though. I've never felt it. I believe in the product. I love the product. I think it's a great product, but it's not your primary. It's not what God's called you to. It's a product that you're selling. Let's just put it this way. And it's a great product. You should sell it. It's not the primary. It needs to be part of it, or it needs to be after you have sold your thing. Does that make sense?